Alright, welcome back to Trails of Cold Steel. We're currently, the instructor Sarah here gave the option for those who want to continue in Class 7 or to go back to whatever class they would have be put in if they weren't given the option of Class 7. So we have these 7 here that have already said they want to. Now we just have Eustace and Machias if they want to actually go. So let's see what they say.
We've got a magnificent 7 now. Which leaves just the 2 of you. I can see you got issues with each other, but that doesn't mean you can't at least try to work together. Why, if you just look past your differences and embrace the joys of youth, I'm sure you'll become the best of friends.
Like hell we will! The exploitation of the common people by the aristocracy is a blight on every facet of Erebonian life. Unless something is done about it, this country has no future!
I appreciate your candor, but I don't think you're going to achieve much by lecturing me about it.
Well, at least that makes this simple. I, Eustace Alborea, claim my place as a member of Class 7.
Huh?
Why? You're the son of a duke! Just the thought of being in the same class as commoners should make you sick!
I'll thank you not to tell me how I'm supposed to feel. As far as the House of Alborea is concerned, there's little difference between other nobles and commoners. Besides, this should at least ensure I won't have fools flitting about every day trying to win my favor. That said, I have little interest in getting drawn into your petty arguments on a daily basis either. I think it would be prudent for us to go our separate ways. I'm certain we can at least agree on this, no?
I don't need some pompous ass who coasts through life on his father's coattails telling me what to do. I'm in, come hell or high water. You might have had your successes spoon-fed to you up to now, but no outmoded class system is going to hand you trophies anymore.
We'll see about that.
They're going to be like this pretty much all year, aren't they?
Sure seems that way. I wouldn't bet on them ever seeing eye to eye.
Oh.
The pots shouldn't be too hard on the kettles.
Give a guy a break.
Well, how about that? 9 out of 9. With that, I'd like to congratulate all of you on being the first ever Class 7. I hope you keep those high spirits all year, because with the workload we've got planned for you, you'll need it.
Well, well, I wasn't expecting Class 7 to turn out quite as diverse as this. It certainly promises to be an interesting year.
You took the words right out of my mouth. But perhaps this too is the divine providence of the goddess, no?
How do you mean?
Well, seeing them there, I feel they have the potential to be the light we seek. A light that can break through the storm clouds that continue to build over our nation day by day.
Okay, so it seems like that was the tutorial there, so we get the little bit of an opening movie again. Or did we already see this? I don't remember. Although there's something I think Reen is hiding, because when they were fighting that stone gargoyle, he made some sort of reference like, okay, I guess I'll have to, but then the Fee and Eustace showed up and then he didn't end up doing what he was going to do. So I'm kind of curious as to what that is. Yeah, it seems like there's also a lot going on in the background that we don't know about. So this should turn out to be pretty interesting, I think. And this is just the opening video that plays when you launch the game. Oh, those are those cannons we saw at the start of the game. It's probably all these events are probably going to lead up to war of some sort. If they're not already at war, and we just don't know. I'm curious how the linking stuff will work, if it'll be kind of like social links like in Persona or something. Like if they make up friendship with, or like if it'll be like in Fire Emblem, the more you have them like paired together or something. But we'll find out. So prologue, the way to Thor's end. So we finished the prologue. Did we get a trophy for finishing the prologue? Question mark? Now we get to save or delete. Why would you want to delete save data? That is a weirdest option I've ever seen in a game. Anyway, oh, there's our trophy. Alright, let's create new save data. And it's really nice that you can pretty much save anywhere you want in this game. I really like that. Alright, let's continue. It's like almost over 2 weeks later. Wow, okay. So we don't really get to know how school life has been going. All right. Time to get going. I wonder who those people are.
Oh, Reen!
Morning, Elliot.
Good morning. Are you heading to school now too? How about we walk there together?
Sure. It's getting late though, so we might need to pick up the pace a little.
No problem. I'm guessing everyone else left already, huh?
I think so. I'm not sensing anyone else on this floor at least. Gaius in particular is probably long gone by now, being the early riser he is.
Oh, okay then. He's not sensing anyone? What does that mean exactly?
Ah.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning! Are you two on your way to school?
Yeah. Come on, Emma. We're going to be late.
Hey, wait for me, Elisa.
We'll see you in class.
I never would have guessed she'd hold a grudge this long. She knows it was just an accident, right? She has to. Can't believe she'd be so sensitive.
No kidding. She's not even giving me a chance to apologize to her.
Well, as long as you keep trying, I'm sure she'll understand. Eventually. Class 7's got enough tension as it is, what with our two, prideful warriors at each other's throats. So I think it would be a load off everyone's mind if you and Elisa could make up at least.
I'll certainly do what I can, whatever that may be. I find it a little odd that Reen doesn't have voice acting and everybody else does right now. These past 2 weeks have really flown by, haven't they? It's funny, I went into this thinking combat practice would be the toughest part of the curriculum. Never would have guessed the academic side of things might give it a run for its money. Well, strong in body and mind is pretty firmly embedded into Imperial culture. I do get what you mean though. I figured I'd be able to coast through the year, but I've had to very quickly reevaluate that. You too, huh? I wish I were as smart as Machias or Emma. They don't seem to be having any problems at all. But then, Emma got the top score on the entrance exam, and I'll bet you anything Machias wasn't far behind. I'm sure. Eustace and Elisa are apparently doing really well too. As are Laura and Gaius. Really? I guess I'm just going to have to suck it up then. Though, I really do hope they don't mind. Huh? I'm not sure I follow. Oh, sorry, you got me thinking about Eustace and Laura. I've been talking to them the same way I talk to everybody else, but they're both nobles, right? And Eustace's family rules over the whole east side of the Empire, so it kind of feels like I should address them more formally. Well, they both said it was okay, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Though, you probably shouldn't go picking fights with Eustace every chance you get, like a certain someone else. Oh, I don't plan on it. I'd hope they'd get along a bit better over time, but if anything, things seem to be spiraling downhill fast on that end. When the two of them are in the same room, there's just this constant tension in the air. It's not all Machias either. Eustace seems to enjoy provoking him at every opportunity. I can't even imagine what it would take to make them see eye to eye at this point. Yeah, I wish there was something we could do to help them get along.
And that's where we'd be if we weren't in Class 7. Dormitory number 2, for all the common folk like us.
Yeah, I guess so, huh? I'm still kinda shocked that Class 7 gets to have its own dormitory. Though, to be fair, I think that building was abandoned till this year. Seems like they renovated it just for us.
Well, they did a good job. It's got a nice feel to it. I just wish it were a little closer to the academy.
Hey, you're in our way. Step aside at once.
Ah.
Class 7, I see.
Is something the matter?
You're just a ragtag bunch of nobodies, aren't you? Come on, we're leaving.
Yes, Patrick. A word of advice. You might be part of a special class, but that doesn't change who you are. Never forget your place.
So they're from one of the upper classes. This is why I hate talking to them.
Unfortunately, that attitude is all too common among the nobles. Thank goodness Laura and Eustace aren't like that.
Yeah, that would be pretty bad. That's the infamous dormitory number 1, where all the nobility lives. It's supposed to be super fancy inside, with maids and butlers and everything.
Wow, really? Guess that's our cue to pick up the pace.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, hey, have you picked out a club to join yet? Doesn't sound like you have to or anything, but it's probably a good way to meet people.
No, I'm still looking. It's hard to decide on one. A club? I wonder if those nobles are going to be picking fights with Class 7 often or not.
Stand, bow. Be seated.
As I'm sure you're all well aware, the Erebonian Empire was driven to the brink of collapse roughly 250 years ago. This was brought about by the conflict we know as the War of the Lions.
I didn't know we were playing Final Fantasy Tactics.
A civil war lasting several years, staged over the throne of the late emperor by the most powerful of his potential successors. But of course, I'm not here to tell you that. If I were, I think even young children would be able to pass this course. Rather, I'd like to discuss the effects this had on the Empire as members of the aristocracy were drawn into the war. Many hired mercenaries turned to looting and pillaging, and a similar trend could even be seen among some of the knights. The land was left utterly devastated, and morale was at an all-time low. But then, lo and behold, into this nightmare stepped a man willing to take a stand against this bloody war of succession. He was a wandering prince who began to rally forces from the outskirts of the Empire, and would go on to make quite a name for himself. And that name, of course, was Dreikel's Rhysei Arnor. He would later become known as Dreikel's the Lionheart, the 73rd Emperor of Erebonia, and father of the Renaissance. Not to mention the founder of this very academy. Dreikel's army was initially rather small in number. But as he traveled across the Empire, winning over the hearts of influential sympathizers, his forces rapidly increased. Now, the place where Emperor Dreikels first began gathering his army was... Rien Schwarzer, would you care to tell the class?
Oh god, I have no idea. The place where Dreikels first started to gather his army was the... I don't really know. I don't think he mentioned it. It wouldn't be in Crossbell, because that's not even in Erebonia. Is it? In Bereahard. Let's say the Nord Highlands. I have no idea. It was the Nord Highlands, a region in the northeast of Erebonia. Very good, Mr. Schwarzer. Prince Dreikel's wanderings led him to the land of Nord, where he lived with the vagabonds for some time. It was there that he heard of the civil war taking place in Erebonia, and those vagabonds of Nord became his very first allies. Yes, I got it right. I'm actually pretty happy I got it right too. Nord Highlands. Wow, she was helping us out. Well, that's nice of her. Guess he didn't need my help after all. Aw, they like each other. How cute. And because we got it right, our AP increased by 1, so academic points. By making good decisions, acting appropriately, and completing quests, you will gain academic points. When you've accumulated enough AP, your rank will increase the next time you report a quest. There are 15 ranks ranging from B7 to A0, and every time your rank increases, you will receive a perk from the Academy. Huh.
Nice work, everyone. You made it through another grueling day of classes. In case you've been living under a rock, please don't forget that tomorrow is your first free day. It's not technically a day off, but there are no classes, so it's up to you what to do with your time. Why, you could go shopping in the capital if you wanted to. Or just do what I do and sleep all day. Sleep is so wonderful.
Will the Academy's facilities still be open for our use?
Yes, I'd like to be able to use the free study area in the library myself.
Of course! This school shuts down for no one, so feel free to patronize any and all facilities as you like. A lot of clubs have meets scheduled for these free days as well, so anyone who's joined one should probably check on that.
I see.
I'll be certain to do so.
Also, before you leave, we should go over what's happening next week. On Wednesday, you all have your practical exam.
A practical exam?
What does that entail exactly?
It's part of your combat training. You'll be graded on your performance, so make sure you're well rested and ready for battle by then. Might be a good idea to do some training on your own time too, just to keep from getting rusty.
Interesting.
I definitely don't like the sound of that.
Oh, and one more thing. After the practical exam is over, I've got another important announcement about a major part of Class 7's curriculum that I haven't mentioned at all yet.
What?
Here it comes.
So, whatever you choose to do on your free day, make it count for something. That concludes today's homeroom. Machias, if you'll do the honors.
Yes, instructor. All rise. Bow.
I'm a little worried about that practical exam next week. I mean, I'm still getting used to this staff. I'd be happy to help you train if you need a sparring partner. The gymnasium looks big enough that I'm sure we'd have no trouble finding a good spot for it. That's very kind of you to offer, but I was planning on attending club practice today. Oh, you've joined the club already? Which one did you pick? I decided to try for the band, though I'm not sure how much use they'd have for a violinist. I didn't know you played the violin. Did you pick it up for fun? Yeah, something like that. How about you guys? Have you joined any of the school's clubs? I'm considering joining the art club. Art, huh? Somehow that's not what I pictured for you. No pun intended. Do you have any artistic experience? I dabbled in it back home. Taught myself though, so I feel like this could be a good chance to learn proper technique. Wow, that's pretty cool. I'd love to see some of your work sometime. Oh, good. You're still here. Instructor? Is there a problem? No, I was just hoping someone could do a teensy little favor for me. There's something I need picked up from the student council room. Something you need picked up? What would that be? That's for me to know and you to find out. All I'll say is it's something absolutely essential to your school life. And somebody needs to get it, though it doesn't matter who. Any volunteers? Sure, I'll go. If I show up in the student council room and tell them you sent me, they'll know why I'm there, right? Wait. Are you sure you don't mind? You two have clubs to go to, right? I'm still totally undecided, so this shouldn't be a big deal at all. I can look in on a few clubs myself along the way, in fact. Well, if you really don't mind. Thank you. The student council room is in the student union building next door, at the end of the hall on the 2nd floor. It's open until quite late, so there's no rush. Thank you, my dear. I leave everything in your capable hands. Okay. Alright, so we'll take a break here. Next time we'll go and explore what clubs we can join and do this little errand for the lovely Sarah here. So as always, thanks for watching, and until next time.